Hi everyone! We hope you're really excited about winter break, but before school ends, we are going to do this really fun craft together. So here are the directions about how to make your super cool winter fleece hat, just like this one. The first thing you need to do to make the winter fleece hat is gather all of your supplies. So you will need a Sharpie or a pen, will be fine. You need a pair of sharp scissors. If you have sewing scissors, that would be great, but if not, just something that you feel that you can safely cut with, but ask your parents if you can have a sharp pair to make it a little easier. A roll of masking tape or painter's tape or washi tape will work. A ruler or a tape measure of some kind, and then your piece of fabric. So we have cut and sent home your pieces of fabric to be between 24 and 26 inches long, and then 14 to 15 inches along what we call the vertical edge. Lay out your fleece in front of you and identify the vertical edge, which in our case is going to be the shorter edge, and the horizontal edge, which is the longer edge for this project. Then you're going to take a piece of tape and have it be ready, and your ruler or tape measure, and apply a piece of tape down the vertical edge 3 inches in from the end. Next, you're going to take your tape measure and find about 2/3 of an inch. And a trick that I like to use is figure out if it's roughly about the width of your thumb, or maybe just slightly under your thumb, and you can use that as a guide. And what we're gonna do is line up along the edge of the tape and put a little dash with your Sharpie every 2/3 of an inch. So I'm gonna start right here, and you can see the easiest way for me is to slide it and just keep marking 2/3 of an inch. But you may find that it's easier to just take your thumb and just mark. Thumb, mark, thumb, mark, thumb. Once you have tape marks roughly 2/3 apart and 3 inches in on both of your short ends, your vertical end, you are going to go ahead and cut from the end just to each dash. So what we're going to do is start here and cut this little fringy piece right up to the end of the tape, but not onto the tape. Once you've done one end, go ahead and flip to the other end. So you'll have these tabs on both ends of your fleece fabric. So now your fabric should look like this. It's got tabs on each end. And what we can do is take the tape off, and you won't need it again. So you can get rid of it. All right, Now, some of your fabric has a right side and a wrong side, and you can tell by looking and seeing if typically the fabric is brighter or clearer in the print on one side or the other. If you want to, you can choose to tie your seam with the right side on the inside. So I'm going to actually take my right side and fold it so that it's on the inside. And this is so that when I'm done and I turn my seam inside out, the pretty side will be showing. So I folded it, and these tabs will roughly line up for you to start making your seam. So you're going to just fold the tabs and tie a double knot as they line up across the end. So you take the outermost tab and tie it in a double knot. Then you take the second tab from each end and tie it in a double knot, and so forth until the entire line of these fringe tabs has been tied together with double knots. So we are going to go ahead and make a choice. If you would like all these fun tabs to show up the back of your hat, kind of like a tab mohawk, you can just leave it the way it is. Or if you would like your hat to look a little bit cleaner, like the example that I have, you're actually gonna fold the hat inside out so that the tabs will be on the inside and all you'll see is this tied seam. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take mine now and turn it inside out. You can remember I intentionally put the right side of the fabric inside when I was tying because I knew I was gonna flip this one. The next thing we're gonna do is just fold a little brim at the bottom, just for sizing. You can fold it one time, about an inch, maybe an inch and a half, to kind of make that wide, comfy brim. This one's about 2 inches at the bottom. And then if you choose to, you can take these tabs that are showing and just sort of trim them so there's less of that excess fabric sticking out. Now we're gonna go ahead and tie the pom-pom on the top. You're gonna go ahead and get your scissors and make a few more short cuts. So take your tape measure and measure about an inch or an inch and a half to get a rough idea. And then make maybe one pom-pom cut just so you have an idea. And then you'll go across the top of your hat and make 5, maybe 6 cuts for the pom-pom fringe. The last step to make the pom-pom top is to find your 1-inch strip that came with your fabric or that you cut off of it in the beginning. You're going to take the top where you've just cut the pom-pom fringe and just sort of gather it together. And then take your tie, wrap it around, and I recommend tying the knot from your tie in the back where the seam is. And you'll just do another simple double knot here. There we go. Then you can kind of fan out the pom-pom fringe and cut off any stray ends that might be a little long, particularly on the tie. And now you have this fun pom-pom top. And there we go. There is your winter hat.